Hey there, fabulous dancer. In today's video, I am going to teach you a begintermediate belly dance combination that is designed to go with a Zill pattern that I have already taught you. So you can do this combination on its own, or you can add the finger cymbals so that you can become the total Zill star that you are meant to be. Are you ready to join me for this tutorial? Then let's dive in. My name is Sahira, and I'm here to teach you the beautiful art of belly dance. Hey there and welcome back. I am super excited to share with you today's tutorial. This is part 2 of a 2-part series that is building a beginner belly dance combination with finger cymbals, which is kind of my favorite thing ever. So if you have not yet seen the first part of the video, you are going to want to check it out before you get to the end, because at the end, we're going to be adding the finger cymbal pattern that was taught in that video, and it'll make a ton more sense if you go through that breakthrough. But regardless of whether you've watched that or not, you can learn the combination with me now and do it with or without finger cymbals, though I highly recommend doing it with. So we're going to start with a quick breakdown of the technique that you need. If any of these moves are really unfamiliar to you, please know that I have tutorials for all of them on my YouTube channel. So you are welcome to head there and check out all of the tutorials for the technique if you'd like to drill it a little bit more. So let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to be starting this combination with 2 drop releases on the right. These are unweighted drop releases, and so you're going to put all the weight on the left foot, making sure that you have a nice long spine, your big lifted chest, beautiful belly dance posture, a little bit of a bend in that left knee, and the right foot has very little weight in it. It's going to be unweighted for these drop releases. We're doing hip drops in the right hip, which means you're squeezing the right hip up and dropping it to neutral, right? Not dropping it past neutral, but dropping it to neutral. And if you would like to add that release onto it, it's on every other drop. You get a tiny little release of the foot. It is not a kick. It's just a tiny little release, like you're drawing a line on the floor with your big toe. Yeah, so drop, release, drop, release. Arms are going to be in 4th. So we're going to be here 1, 2, 3, 4 is our first 4 counts. The right foot is free, and we're going to go into a right-sided hip circle that is weighted, that's going to help us shift our weight over to the right so that we're facing to the corner to the right. So these weighted one-sided hip circles are like this. We're going to be stepping with them. So you're drawing a hip circle that goes front, side, back, and in, front, side, back, and in. Now, obviously, like, both hips are moving, but because I'm pushing it out to the right, I'm thinking about this hip circle starting here at the belly button, circling out to the right, and then coming back to the middle. So it feels much more right-sided than anything, right? So you're here, you're circling, and you're just going to take tiny steps to bring those feet around so that you're now facing downstage right over here. Yeah. So once again, we've got our drop release twice, and then you're going to circle and circle. What I like to do when I circle, I get a little push in the hands, tiny little details here. Yeah. So instead of holding the arms here like a robot, I'm going to get tiny little push to kind of accentuate that circle. Then once you've done 2 of those, you're going to leave the weight on that right foot like you've stepped, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. 2 drop releases, drop release, drop release, and then stepping and stepping. And when we circle this time, we're going to come back to the center. Yeah? So one more time, that beginning part, drop, release, circle right, prepare the arms, drop, release, circle left, to come to center, right? So now, second part of our combination. We're going to be doing a crossing step touch. Your weight was on your left, so your right foot is free. Cross, touch. When we do this touch, we're actually going to put a little bit of an up, over, down, like a single hip Maya, so that we take our weight and then we come back. So you can either just leave the touch there, or if the Maya feels good to you and you like it, lift the hip up, push it over and down, weight shifts onto that foot. I come to the flat foot, and then come back over. Let's try it on the other side. Cross step, touch, you're on the toe, lift up, push over, down, switch your weight. Cross step, on the toe, lift up, push over, down. Let's try it one more time. Cross step, lift, up, and over, down. So I'm calling that a crossing step touch with a Maya. We're going to do 1 on the left, 1 on the right. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once we come back to center, the weight is on the left, the right foot is free. we're going to do an undulation up to down, top to bottom, and we're going to angle it to the right because the right foot's free first, and then to the left. So you're going to step on the right, and here's that lift, drop, tuck, release. So I'm thinking very vertical style undulation where the chest lifts, it drops, the pelvis tucks underneath you and releases. Got to bend the knee to get it to go down into the hips, yeah? So we do one to the right, then your left foot's free. You're going to step on the left and do one to the left. There'll be just one and one, but let's go ahead and do a few more just to get that in the body. So it's a tiny little angle shift from, like, if this is a clock and this is noon, it's like 1 o'clock and 11 o'clock. And I'm just creating that by gently stepping slightly open to one side and then to the other. Keep that alignment so the chest is always on top of the hips. We're not necessarily like reaching forward with it. We're thinking very vertical. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is going to be a little shoulder shimmy. An option on your shoulder shimmy, if you would like it to take it into a more folkloric variation, you're going to put a little teeter-totter on it. One shoulder comes up, the other shoulder comes down. This is a fun challenge in and of itself. If you've never done it, I invite you to play around with it. It's a little folkloric variation. And because we're just standing still facing the mirror, I almost always bring one leg in to create a nice pose. Yeah, that little shoulder shimmy. And that'll be 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So the second half of our combo, once again, we had just finished circling with the hip. We do step and Maya, step and Maya, undulate. You can pull those arms down if you would like, and then bring them back up, and then shoulder shimmy, 6, 7, 8. That's the whole thing. Then we'll repeat. When you repeat over and over, because the combination walks forward on those step touches, feel free to walk backwards whenever you need to. When you run out of space, I'll try to walk backwards on every other one so that we keep resetting, yeah? So let's go ahead and do 2 iterations. That way we can do 1 forward and 1 back. 6, 7, drop, release, twice on the right, 2 circles on the right to take us to the left, or take us to the right, yeah? 2 drop releases on the left, then 2 circles to take us to the left. Here's our step touch with the Maya, step and Maya, step and Maya, undulate right, undulate left, and here's our shoulder shimmy. We're going to repeat right hip. Here we go. Drop, release, twice, and circle. And prepare, drop, release twice, and circle. Now I'm going to step backwards, yeah? Step and touch, step and touch, undulate, undulate, shoulder shimmy, 6, 7, 8. Nice job. All right, so here's where things are really going to get fun. We're going to start to talk about how the finger cymbals that you learned in the previous tutorial are going to layer on top of this combination. So I'm going to walk you through the combination now, and I'm going to talk the finger cymbals. So if you have not yet learned the finger cymbal combination, please feel free to go back and check out that tutorial. I will link to it, but you could also kind of try to gather what's happening from this little breakdown here. So all gallops, right? We talked about cool variations in the gallop to make this happen. So when we do the hip drop release, this is and a 1 and a 3. The hip circles is the and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. So the every other and then the first 3 of our gallop series, right? So we're doing and a 1 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3, right? So I feel like that kind of matches the movement, right? Because I'm getting 2 drops, so I get 2 gallops that are separated. And then my and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 is kind of matching with my feet. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3, because I take 3 steps to get around. Repeat on the other side. And a 1 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3, right? So that's the first half of our Zill combination layered on top of what we just learned. Now our step touch, this is where that and a 4 and a 4 happens. And that's happening kind of on the outside of the Maya, right before we cross through the middle to do the other side. So we're going 1, 2, 3, and a 4, 5, 6, 7, and an 8, or 1, 2, 3, and a 4, right? So it's after you've done that Maya, you're getting ready to cross to the other side, you get that and a 4, right? So one more time with that, we're going silence, 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 and a 4, silence, 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 and a 4. Then we get one more and a 1 and a 3. That's our undulations. And a 1 and a 3. And then, of course, we get all 4 gallops when we do the shoulder shimmy. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Did that make sense? That was a lot of information. Shall we review it again? Yes. Okay, cool. Let's review it again. Here we go. And a 1 and a 3. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3. And a 1 and a 3. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3. And a 4. And a 4 and a 1 and a 3. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. And a 1 and a 3. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3. And a 1 and a 3. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Stepping back. And a 4. And a 4 and a 1 and a 3. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. You got that? If you don't have it, that's fine. Just go back and listen to that again as many times as you need to. And then when you are ready, put on your Zills. It's time to play. Today, I'll be playing along with you on my Saroyan Gawazis in bronze. You can find your very own pair at sahirabellydances.com/Saroyan cymbals. I'll link that for you. And we are going to be dancing to a fabulous song called Electro Belly Funk by the amazing Miss Thea. And you can find her at missthea.bandcamp.com. 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time through. How did that go, Zillstar? Post below and let me know. I would love to hear what you thought of it. If for any reason you're like, oh my gosh, that was way too fast, what just happened? You know you can slow me down, right? So you can just hit in YouTube, you can hit that little gear button and you can make me go slower. If that's helpful to you, yeah? And if you're like, oh yeah, got that, been there, done that, that was easy, you can always find a way to make it more interesting and challenging. So I would challenge you to do one of these two things, or both, goodness sake, if you wanted to do it. You could either change up the way you use your hand. If you're right hand lead, try left hand lead, or try continuously alternating. Or this might be even more fun, vary up the sounds you play. We've played this entire thing with just one sound, but you know there are dozens of sounds that the finger cymbals can make. And so if you know more than one sound, you want to throw in a clack or a tick or a ring or a talk, go for it and make it even more interesting. Either way, I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you want to learn with finger cymbals. They're kind of my thing, and I would love to make more content for you. If you'd enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that I can send you fabulous belly dance and finger cymbal content every single week. And if you are ready to dive in and get serious about those cymbals and you want to make sure you have the solid foundation to become the Zills star that you are destined to be, join me for my free finger cymbal jumpstart. You can find it at sahirabellydances.com/Zillstar. It's completely free. Just sign up there and you will get instant access to those videos so you can keep practicing what you've learned here and take it to the next level. Thank you so much for joining me here, Zillstar. I look forward to making music with you soon.